Pastor Jody,
Yes, sir.
we are entering a new sermon series, which is also a campaign called the Kindness Campaign.
Exactly.
Can you tell us a bit about that?
I can. So certainly, we find ourselves in a era of just kind of, I guess you'd say, upheaval and chaos, and maybe even a little bit of, maybe throw a little hatred in there at times, you know?
Yeah.
And so we want to be the opposite. So meaning, if the world and society and culture looks one way, the church should probably look the other, you know,
Exactly.
when it comes to those things. And
And it's like you said, like it's one side or the other nowadays, and it's like everybody's forgotten how to have friendly discourse and kind discourse.
Right.
So I think this is very timely.
Now, we talked earlier, we're going to actually reveal who we're voting for this fall, correct?
Are we?
Is that right?
Who are you voting for?
I'm voting for kindness.
Nice. I like that.
So,
you can never lose with that candidate.
That's right. 100% of the time you win with that. So, and I like the fact that maybe our world and maybe even our country is thinking about a campaign for our presidency.
Right.
And even below that, you know, there's some people running, I'm sure. But in our church at this moment, we're thinking about a campaign for kindness.
That's right.
And voting for kindness. And we actually don't want to just vote. We want to live it.
Exactly.
And so you guys are going to get a lot of information that talks about how to be kind in your daily life. And not that you're not. I know, Lee, you're one of the kindest men I've ever met.
Thank you. That's very kind of you.
But we just kind of want to remind people to include that in their daily life and be, I guess, intentional about our kindness.
Well, the verse, Proverbs 16:24 says, "Kind words and acts are sweeter than honey."
Yep.
I don't know about you. I love honey.
Yep.
And I put honey on fried chicken, biscuits.
You're not one of them, are you?
I put honey on cornbread, y'all.
Oh, no.
I love it. But to know that, like, that sweetness,
Yeah.
like kind words are that sweet.
That's right. And I think that's the point is, what's the sweetest thing that you can think of? And you would say honey.
Naturally, too.
Right, naturally. And, you know, our kindness is just is critical, certainly in the world we're living in. And really, as Christians, kindness should just be second nature.
Right, exactly.
You know, and I like what it says, too. It says with our words and with our actions.
Right.
Both. There's really two levels of kindness that can happen in our lives. So I just wanted to highlight, maybe you want to highlight a few things that we wrote down, and you guys will get these as we start this campaign. But just some ways that we can be kind in our personal lives, and then we're going to be kind as well corporately here at the church. So just recently we went to Maximum Impact and gave over 3,000 book bags book bags to kids full of school supplies. Well, that's kind of a corporate kindness or a collective kindness. Right. But we also want to challenge people to be kind just in their daily life. And that can be, we actually have some examples here, returning somebody's shopping cart. Now, Lee, I'm going to reveal to you, and I'm going to reveal to the world here, one of the most frustrating things that I ever see is people leaving shopping carts.
Preach.
Yes.
Preach.
Right beside the door of my vehicle.
And especially when like the place to return them is like right beside it.
Exactly. And so I'm not real kind at those moments, but we're going to actually try to, I guess, encourage all of us to take the shopping cart back for them. You know?
Yeah, I mean, I always think about this too, like the carts are like everywhere, but there's just like a kid who's working minimum wage out there in the rain. I see them when they push that giant thing. I'm like, somebody help this kid.
That's right. That's right. Ooh, those guys have a tough job. You know? But yeah, that's one example. You know, call someone. We wrote down here, call someone you hadn't spoken to in a while.
I think that's big. I think nowadays it's like texting, you know, or emailing or DMing somebody, but it's like actually calling, making an effort to like let somebody hear your voice, let them know that you care for them. I noticed when I've received calls, it's changed my day.
That's right. Yep, exactly. There's something real personal about a phone call.
Yeah.
And I know, again, I'm with you. Text is so much simpler, but a phone call can make such a difference. A couple notes here. Leave a note of affirmation
That's cool.
for somebody on their car or maybe at their desk. But again, it's being intentional. Lee, I don't know about you, but I get so busy in the course of a day that the kindness kind of takes a back seat.
Yeah, well, it's almost like I don't feel like it's malicious. I just feel like you get going, and then like the little things that if you were just kind of aware of,
right.
Like this one, like giving up your seat for somebody.
Yeah.
It could be anybody, you know. If you have the wherewithal that you can stand and you see somebody struggling,
right,
let them sit, you know.
Yeah.
Little things.
And one of the things we're going to put out to our church is some of these don't cost anything.
Yeah, it just costs like a moment.
Right,
you know?
a moment. That's right. And then some of them will cost. You know, we've got some options here, like donate some items to a family in your neighborhood, you know, that are in need. Leave a larger tip than normal when you eat
that's
out.
Big.
We've done that before here in our church every year.
And you know, our out team here, we collect stuff all the time. You're like, what is year-round things that are always needed?
Always needed. I would say like pillows and blankets. Anything that somebody can sleep on if they're on the street or even if they're just kind of struggling at their home, you know. So anything they can sleep on. Socks, believe it or not, are a big one. We want to collect as many socks as possible because a sock can be, actually, believe it or not, it can fit on our feet or it can be a source of like a bag. You know, some people will stuff things in the sock and carry it around, you know.
Yeah.
And so anyway, socks are always important here, but we're just going to be creative, hopefully, in this series where we're going to give you some ideas on how to be kind. But you guys, you're so creative. You're so wonderful in the way you think about this. And
we're going to do some, like you said, corporate kind of things like the church is going to do. And we also kind of throughout the campaign want to hear your stories.
Exactly.
Because I think that human touch of saying something you've gone through, somebody else may be like, oh, you can be kind that way. I never thought of that, you know?
Yeah. If I were to fast forward maybe a little ways to the end of this campaign, what would just be so great is to hear hundreds of stories of people going, you know, I just got a little bit intentional about being kind.
I just got a little bit intentional. That's really great.
Yeah.
For anything, really.
Right.
Like, and I woke up with intent, you know?
That's right. And I think we're going to have stories, Lee, of people like seeing like a life change. You know what I mean? Not only for them, the giver, but also to the receiver of the kindness. I think we'll probably hear stories of people saying, wow, I just opened a door for a lady, or I just, you know, bought a pair of socks for somebody.
Right.
And, or I drive downtown every day and I was just giving out bars, you know, like food bars to the homeless, you know, or whatever it might be.
Or you see somebody on the side of the road struggling to change a tire.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, we've all been in a situation like that where it's high stress and a helping hand that could change somebody's life.
That's right. And really the big picture of all this is we're just being like our Savior, you know?
Sometimes we make being Christ like so very hard.
Yeah.
But it's very simple if like be like him.
There you go. I've heard that somewhere before. Be like him.
Yeah.
You know?
We should make that a quote. Be like him.
Be like him. I want to be like him.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. So anyway, you guys, I'm excited about this series. I know Lee is. I know our team is here at the church. And hopefully you get excited as well, because I think we're just going to see an overabundance of kindness in an era that can be very unkind.
That's a good way to say it.
And so who am I voting for? Who are you voting for?
Kindness. Every time.
Every time.